All right, joining us now is Alamogordo Tigers head football coach A.J. Cisco. And, Coach, just another tough week for you guys, and a game that, it really could have gone a different way in the first half, but things just kind of snowballed the wrong direction for you
guys.
And
that's we talk about a young team, and we did not bounce back. We weren't resilient. Things went bad in the first quarter, and it just kind of stayed that way. Our kids kind of got down. We had some opportunities to make some different plays to maybe change the outcome of the game or change the flow of the game, and we didn't take advantage of them. And credit to Gadsden. I told you Gadsden's a good football team. Coach Fosco's done a good job. They made some plays. They ran some new schemes at us defensively that we should have been able to adjust to, and we never did.
Yeah, and certainly, the turnover is probably the biggest thing for you guys. I mean, the fumble right away, the pick, the other fumble. I mean, just you have, and the turnover on downs. You have all that in the first half. That's really hard to overcome.
Yeah, and we told our kids at halftime, you turn the ball over 4 times because we count the turnover on downs as a turnover. You turn the ball over 4 times in the first half, you're not going to win any games. And the first turnover fumble is a blown blocking scheme by us with the new kids out of position, not understanding it. The second turnover, the interception, was that we ran the wrong route. It's probably a touchdown if we run it correctly. Third fumble was a blown blocking scheme again, and then we turned over on downs on another blown blocking scheme. And we ended up having 4 varsity linemen in there that playing varsity linemen that aren't necessarily varsity linemen and all playing new positions. So it was a struggle, but the biggest issue, we got to play better defense. We couldn't get off the field on defense. We couldn't get our offense a chance to sustain drives. And they go hand in hand with us with offensively and defensively. Gadsden kept us off the field. We only ran 30 plays the entire game. And that's kind of our mantra of what we do offensively. So we got to get better defensively this week.
But as you always say, the nice thing is you get another week, you get another chance to turn it around. It is homecoming week this week, and you play a very good Deming team that I'm assuming, similar to what we've seen the last couple of years, they run the football really well.
Yeah, really well. And I think they've got one of the most underrated backs in the state, and the Reza kid. I think it's Joey Reza. He can fly. He's a burner. And if you remember, if you guys saw him in the spring, and when he gets loose, it's over. And I don't know if there's anybody in Class 5A that's going to catch him. But he's that good. And they do a good job. They're physical up front. And they're going to get after you. And like I said, the biggest thing we got to do is we got to play better defense, get off the field, and then we got to sustain drives offensively. That's something that we haven't done in the past couple of weeks is turn the ball over. We've had drives that we've capitalized on and just kept our defense off the field, and we didn't do that against Gadsden. We got to do a really good job against Deming this week.
What kind of adjustments can you make defensively? Because certainly the big play has been the thing that's really killed you guys all season long. And you talk about somebody who's a burner who gets in the open field. I mean, is it just putting the kids in the right spots and be able to execute?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the Gadsden game, I mean, we had kids in the right spot a lot of times that just didn't make tackles. And that's something that we've gone back to basics of just tackling. We probably don't give up as many yards last week if we just tackle. We got kids in the right spot. We probably missed 13 tackles for a loss last week. So that's one of those things that happens when it's going bad, it's going bad. And we got to get our kids to have a little life to them. Bounce around, be excited. It is homecoming. Our kids do love being in the stadium with the home crowd, and it's kind of shown the 3 home games we've had, we played up pretty well, and the 2 road games we've not traveled very well. And that's on me as a coach. We got to figure out how to travel better.
And offensively, I mean, talk about wanting to keep things going. You're going to have to move around guys, whether it's offensive line or running back or your dive back. How is it to make those adjustments when you got to have new guys in those spots, right?
It's a new year. It's a new whole age. I mean, I tell everybody today, everything's day by day. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen, who we're going to have each morning when we get up, come to practice, but it's rolling guys around. If you come into practice, you'll see kids playing a whole bunch of different positions because we don't know when we're going to have to move a kid. If you saw Isaiah Granados has been a tight end, we had to put him in a lineman number and make him play offensive line last week. And it's growing moments for all these young kids. And, I mean, the biggest thing, we want to win. And we're going to do whatever we can to win. We're going to put our kids in a situation to win. They got to make plays, but we got to play better. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got to play better. We got to play better defensively, get off the field. We got to cause turnovers, and we got to sustain drives offensively.
And then, of course, I mean, there's the homecoming part of it, but I feel like you've always been a coach that you want the kids to be able to enjoy the homecoming festivities part of it, and then when it's time for game time, to make sure you get the focus down and get out there and
then we tell our kids all the time that homecoming is created because of a football. The most important thing that week is football game. And as a coach, the selfish part of me, like, this is the best homecoming ever. We haven't had any festivities, so there's been no distractions. As the coach with the kids and wanting them to get involved and going to the bonfires and the powder puff games, I mean, that's kind of heartbreaking for our kids, but that's kind of the age we're in, and we got to protect our kids and our families and community. So hopefully we can get that going next year, but it is homecoming. We want to get a big crowd out there, celebrate what homecoming's about, get the alumni back, and then they got the dance on Saturday night.
All right, well, we certainly hope the kids are able to enjoy all of that, and hopefully they're able to enjoy that with a victory. Good luck on Friday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Charles. Go Tigers.